In this video, we are going to learn about cell structure and its organization. In your previous standards, you must have studied that cell is a structural and functional unit of life. The living organisms are made up of cells, the living organisms which are capable of independent existence and reproduction and which can perform all their activities. They are made up of cells. Cells have various shapes, sizes. Smallest cell is mycoplasma, which is 0.3 micrometer in dimension. Then largest is 15 centimeter ostrich egg, and bacterial cells are 3 to 5 micrometer in dimension. Then there is a very important definition here. Totipotency, it is the capacity of living nucleated cell to differentiate and divide to form any other type of cell. Now in the adjacent diagram, you all can see after fertilization there is formation of embryo. There is a ball of cells, and these are the totipotent cells which are not yet differentiated. They can give rise to all different types of cells. So they are called as totipotent cells. Embryonic animal cells are totipotent and they are termed as stem cells. Stem cells have a great medical application, including cure of diseases like cancer. So totipotency is the ability to divide and form any type of cell, and which is restricted in humans to embryonic condition. Then there are two basic kinds of cells, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Pro means primitive and eu is true. Prokaryotes have a primitive nucleus which has the chromatin network not surrounded by nuclear membrane, and in eukaryotes the true nucleus surrounded by nuclear membrane is present. Now prokaryotic cells have following features: chemically complex protective cell envelope. Now you can see here three cell envelopes can be seen: glycocalyx, middle cell wall, and inner plasma membrane. The common example of prokaryotes can be given as bacteria. Bacteria have the outer glycocalyx layer which is either slimy or like a capsule. Middle layer, cell wall, it is made up of peptidoglycans, and a Gram stain is used to identify such layers. And inner plasma membrane or cell membrane, which is like other animal or plant cell, is made up of phospholipid bilayer. These give structural protection and they help in intercellular transport. Now these prokaryotes have motile structures like cilia. Cilia are smaller and flagella are long whip-like structures. They help the rotary movements and they help in movement of these prokaryotic cells. Then there are many surface projections like pili and fimbriae. Now these prokaryotic cells, they are mostly the example are bacteria. They have to cling or they have to stick somewhere, and for that these surface projections are needed. Mesosomes are infoldings of cell membrane or plasma membrane. Plasma membrane folds inside the cell and it helps in the cell wall formation and DNA replication. Chromatophores are the longer extensions in photosynthetic cyanobacteria. Some bacteria can produce their food by photosynthesis. They are called as photosynthetic bacteria. And then ribosomes. These are very important particles in both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Ribosomes are present in prokaryotes in the cytoplasm. They are of 70S type. It is the unit, sedimentation unit or Svedberg unit, and bacteria have 70S type of ribosomes composed of larger subunit 50S and smaller 30S. We are going to learn about ribosomes in the next slides. Now here a prokaryotic cell is shown. You can see a long whip-like flagellum there. See here. This is the flagellum for the movements. Then you can see the three layers of the wall, cell, the bacterial wall, and pili and fimbriae can be seen for additional support and clinging. Now here you can see the chromosome or chromatin material not surrounded by nuclear envelope. Then eukaryotic cells, the cells having a definite nuclear membrane. You can clearly see the nucleus in eukaryotic cell. There are membrane bound cell organelles present. So these are two distinguishing points between eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Cells of protists like amoeba, paramecium. Now don't confuse between prokaryotes and protists. Prokaryotes are the ones which do not have true nucleus, and protists are the primitive eukaryotes or unicellular eukaryotes like amoeba and paramecium. Plants, animal and fungi are also the eukaryotic cells. Again, here you can see the different shape and size and physiology of the cells, but they all are delimited by plasma membranes. They have cytoplasm and organelles like mitochondria, ER, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, Golgi complex, and a true nucleus. Now here two eukaryotic cells are shown, animal cell and plant cell. Only the difference here, you can see here is a large vacuole. It's present in plant cells, which is absent in animal cells. Plant cells have a firm cell wall outside the cell membrane. Animal cells do not have cell wall. Then you can see the different cell organelles which are common in both of them, but plant cells are rigid and animal cells are comparatively less rigid. We are going to learn about the components of eukaryotic cells now in detail. Now the outermost is cell wall. Eukaryotic cells, namely plant, then some fungi and some protists, they have the cell wall. Now cell wall has three layers: middle lamella, primary cell wall, and the secondary cell wall. Now see, cell wall is rigid. Now it is made up of different components in different eukaryotic organisms. Now like in algae, they are made up of cellulose, galactans, mannans, minerals like calcium carbonate. Then in other plants, hemicellulose, pectin, lipids and proteins. Microfibrils, they give rigidity to the cell wall. Then some deposits are silica in grass stem, cutin, suberin, wax, lignin are some deposits which make the cell wall very rigid and sometimes shiny and waxy. Function is to give the shape to the cell, protection from mechanical injury and infection. Now plant cell wall has following parts: middle lamella, thin, and it lies between two adjacent cells. First structure formed during cell plate during cytokinesis, mainly made up of pectin, calcium, magnesium, pectate, and when the fruit ripens, it is this layer gets dissolved, and that is why the fruit becomes softer. Then below the middle lamella is the primary cell wall. Primary cell wall in young plant cell is capable of growth laid inside middle lamella. It is only seen in meristematic. Meristematic means actively dividing plant cells, mesophils, pith, etc. Secondary wall is present inner to primary, and growth and primary once growth of primary wall stops, the secondary wall is laid. Now such three layers are present. Then plasmodesmata is the cytoplasmic bridges between neighboring cells. You can imagine the plant cell wall is very rigid and very thick. So in order to get the communication between adjacent cell, there are the cytoplasmic bridges between adjacent cell walls. Then the plasma membrane, a very accepted model of plasma membrane structure is fluid mosaic model. You can see here it states that it is made up of phospholipid molecules. Now you can see there is a globular head and two tails are present in the lipid molecules. Then proteins are like icebergs in the sea of lipids. Intrinsic means now these proteins are spanning the entire membrane or which are also called as transmembrane proteins, and some are extrinsic proteins found only on the surface. Now this is the lipid bilayer structure. Fluid mosaic model. Now these molecules are not static, they are pushing each other, and that is why the lipid membrane has got a fluidity. Fluidity is the ability to move within the membrane. Now plasma membrane and cell membrane, they are around the protoplast and around the most of the cell organelles. Now few characteristics are given here. Polar head, hydrophobic tails, proteins and carbohydrates are present. These characters you can find. Now there is function is to transport molecules across it. Selectively permeable it is. Simple diffusion along the concentration gradient, movement of molecules is seen, and some molecules are moved by active transport. Then cytoplasm is jelly-like fluid matrix present inside the animal or plant cells. Now this cytoplasm is jelly-like and it is not static. It is moving, showing the streaming movement. It acts as a source of raw materials, and various biochemical reactions or activities of the cell take place in cytoplasm. Various cell organelles are present. Now here one thing you have to remember, endomembrane system. There is one endomembrane system which has different cell organelles in communication with each other, like nuclear membrane, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosomes, various types of vesicles, vacuoles, etc. Mitochondria and chloroplast are the only organelles not included in this endomembrane system. Now ER, close to the nucleus you can see a folded membrane made up of cisternae. ER forms 50% of cell membrane. ER is very crucial organelle, and it has membrane which is starting from the nuclear membrane and which continues to the plasma membrane or delimiting membrane of the cell. It acts as intracellular supporting framework. It is supporting cell from inside and helps in maintaining position of various cell organelles. There are two types of ER, smooth ER and rough ER. Now here you can see the rough ER has the ribosome studded on it, and smooth ER has no ribosomes on the outer wall. Now smooth ER has very important functions: synthesis of lipids like steroid hormones, cortical region of adrenal gland, detoxification of drugs in liver cells, storage of calcium ions in muscle cells. Rough ER is primarily involved in protein synthesis, and some proteins are secreted by ribosomes attached to rough ER, which are secretory proteins. These proteins get trapped and they are transported to the GC, and these are also involved in the formation of membrane of the cell. Then the next organelle is GC. GC is close to ER, present close to ER, and it has various tags like see here there are trans and cis phase. Cis means on the same side, and trans is the maturing or opposite phase. Now the buds, the vesicles which are pinching from the ER are coming towards GC. They are getting modified, and again from the trans phase the secretory proteins are pinched off in the form of vesicles and transported to the new plasma membrane. So functions are modification of secretion of ER, refining the product takes place in orderly manner, then production of its own secretions. GC can produce its own secretions in plant cells, like produce cellulose polysaccharides like pectin. Cisternae contains specific enzyme for specific function. All products of GC leave cisternae from trans phase as transport vesicles. Sometimes now like it has to get transported to a specific destination, then a tag is added. Certain markers may get impregnated so that it can specifically go to the destination. Lysosomes are called as the dismantling and restructuring units of cells. Lysosomes have hydrolytic enzymes. They are carrying out the function of digestion or hydrolysis of macromolecules. See, there are some synthetic activities and some destructive activities going on in the cell. Lysosome is a very important cell organelle. It has a function of destroying unwanted molecules or hydrolysis of molecules. Now, lysosomal enzymes are hydrolases like amylase, protease, lipase, and they are showing optimal activity in acidic pH. They are lysosomes are reformed and reused. They are also called as suicide bags because the cell organelles which are not in use or old and damaged parts of the cells are also digested with the lysosomes. Now they have three types: primary lysosomes, membrane bound vesicle which has the enzyme; secondary, formed by the fusion of lysosome and endocytic vesicle. Now see, the lysosome which is intact, which has the hydrolytic enzymes, they are primary, and when some endocytic material comes inside and it fuses with lysosome, it forms a secondary lysosomes, like in here, secondary lysosome. Now this lysosome now carries out the function of digestion, and a third type of lysosome is formed, that is residual body, and on the vesicle containing undigested remains left. Okay, so now autophagic vesicles are what? Those are lysosomes bringing about digestion of cells own organic material like damaged cell organelle, and they are called as suicide bags. Okay, old and degenerating cell organelle is fused with the lysosome. So functions are intracellular and extracellular digestion, then extracellular digestion by now see, inside the cell, when the lysosome fuses with a vesicle and digests the material inside that vesicle, it is called as intracellular digestion. And when the lysosomal contents are released outside the cell, and the enzymes digest or lyse the material which is outside, it is called as extracellular digestion. Now in case of sperm fertilization, the sperm acrosome releases hyaluronidase, and that enzyme carries out the extracellular digestion. Then destruction of old and worn out cell organelles, etc. are the functions. Then vacuoles. Vacuoles are a major component of plant cells. In plant cells, there is a central large vacuole is seen. Animal cells show comparatively smaller vacuoles. Then in plants, the central vacuole has the tonoplast membrane, and vacuolar fluid or the cell sap is different from that of a cytosol. Now components of these vacuoles can be different in different plant cells. Now some plants, some small vacuoles in seeds of certain plants store organic materials, some excretory products, some harmful unpalatable substances also, and attractive colors of petals are due to the storage of pigments in this cell sap. Okay, then intake of food or foreign particles by phagocytosis involves formation of food vacuole, and in paramecia, this formation of food vacuole can be seen very effectively. Now what are glyoxysomes? These are membrane bound organelles containing enzymes converting fatty acids to sugar. Now in germinating seeds where they cannot photosynthesize, these seeds, the cells in the seeds utilize stored fat as source of sugar till it is able to photosynthesize. Then we have next mitochondria, very important organelle, powerhouse of the cell as we call it. It has double membrane. Inner membrane is folded to form cristae. They are involved in aerobic respiration. Shape may be oval, spherical or spiral like in Spirogyra. Then structure, double membrane is there. Outer membrane is permeable to various metabolites. Inner membrane is selectively permeable to few substances. Then it has many finger-like fold called as cristae, and there are smaller particles there called as oxysomes or effect particles. Now here you can see the oxysome, one is shown here. Then oxysomes, F1, F0 particles, or they are called as Fernandez-Moran particles or elementary particles or mitochondrial particles. There are several names. It has a stalk and foot. Head is called as F1 portion. Foot is F0, and they are involved in the proton pumping and ATP synthesis. ATP is generated, and that is why mitochondria is called as a powerhouse of a cell. Then you have plastids. One of the plastid I have shown here. There are different types of plastids: leucoplast, chromoplast, and chloroplast. Leuco is the one which has no pigment, and it stores food, nutrients. Like amyloplast store starch, elioplast store oils, and alliroplast store protein. Chromoplast have colors like carotene xanthophylls. They impart yellow orange color to flowers and fruits. Some fruits look tomatoes look red. It is because of the chromoplast. Chroma is color, it is easy to remember. Then chloroplast are the ones which have the photosynthetic pigments and photosynthetic machinery. Even the protists like euglena and few cells of algae also have chloroplast. These are able to show photosynthesis, able to perform photosynthesis. They are present in various sizes, numbers, and shapes. Then there are different parts. In the inner membrane is there, outer membrane is there, and in the cavity of inner membrane there are set of membranous stacks called as thylakoids, and thylakoids arranged in the form of stacks called as grana. So grana is connected to each other by the stroma lamellae. The space outside thylakoids is filled with stroma. Stroma is the matrix of the chloroplast. And there are various enzymes essential for photosynthesis are present in this. Like other plastids, stroma of chloroplast also contains DNA and ribosomes. DNA and ribosomes are also present in mitochondria. In eukaryotic cells, only these two organelles such as mitochondria and chloroplast, they have their own DNA and ribosomes. Now, very important organelle which is a protein factory, and it uses genetic information to synthesize proteins. It is made up of RNA and protein, the ribosome, and it has no membranous covering here. Now I have shown here where exactly the ribosomes are present. They are attached to the rough ER. They are also present freely in the cytoplasm, and here you can see they are also attached to the outer surface of nuclear membrane. Then these are made up of large and small subunit. Bound ribosomes produce proteins that are transported outside. Now the ones which are attached to ER, they are producing proteins which are to be transported. Then the free ribosomes, they make a chain. They form polyribosomes, and they manufacture proteins which are required in the cells. Like enzymes produced which are responsible for breakdown of sugar are produced on these polyribosomes. These ribosomes, both the ribosomes can interchange their roles and positions, and they are actively involved in protein synthesis. Now here I have shown a diagram which shows the difference in ribosomes of prokaryotes and eukaryotes. These are present in both the cell types. Prokaryotic ribosomes are very smaller, 70S types with subunits 50S and 30S. This is not additive. So say 50 plus 30 becomes 80, but here when they combine both the subunit, the sedimentation unit becomes 70S. In eukaryote, it is 80S type, 60S and 40S are the subunits. Now the controlling center of the cell, nucleus. In this diagram you can see nucleus has a nuclear membrane, double membrane, but it is not continuous. There are nuclear pores, and inside there is a chromatin network and a structure called as nucleolus. Nucleus is the site of ribosome synthesis. Nucleus is a structure that is distinct in non-dividing cells, and when the cell is about to divide. Now when it enters the metaphase, then you can when it enters the phase of division, the nucleus becomes prominent. Nuclear envelope, nucleoplasm, nucleolus, and chromatin network are the four components of nucleus. There are two membranes, outer and inner. Outer has ER attached to it. Inner membrane has a network of protein fibers. Inner membrane is supported from within by the network of protein fibers, maintains the shape of a nucleus. Then nuclear membrane is not continuous. At places there are nuclear pores that we have seen now in the previous slide. Nuclear pores are supported by nuclear pore complex. So selectively some molecules are allowed to enter and pass through the nuclear pores. Now nucleoplasm or carrier lymph is present, which has various substances like nucleic acid, protein molecules, minerals and salts. Chromatin network is present in the nucleoplasm inside the nuclear membrane. Nucleolus is also there. Nucleolus is made up of ribosomal RNA and ribosomal protein. It is site for ribosome biogenesis or synthesis. If a cell is involved in active protein synthesis, more ribosomes are required. That is why the cell has a prominent nucleolus. A cell which is not actively involved in protein synthesis may not require many ribosomes. So nucleolus in the nucleus of such cell is not prominent. Now for example, the ova or egg cells, oocytes of the mammalian cells or the eukaryotic cells, they have larger nucleoli because they need a lot of protein synthesis, because this secondary oocyte is going to divide and form embryo and a lot of proteins are required. So active protein synthesis is going on there. But a sperm has not a prominent nucleolus because the sperm has to just fertilize the ovum. The chromatin material has the DNA which is associated with the histone proteins. Then in non-dividing cell, the chromosome appears as a thread-like network and cannot be identified. Then in some regions, the chromatin has active DNA which is called as euchromatin, and in some regions the chromatin network has less active DNA which is called as heterochromatin. Now when a cell is about to divide, the chromatin material gets condensed and it forms chromosome. Thread-like irregular mass becomes tightly coiled and looks like X there, so we call it as a chromosome. At metaphase stage, they become distinct and can be clearly identified. Every living species has a specific number of chromosomes. Like humans have 46 chromosomes. That differs with different species and different animals. The nucleus is a very important cell organelle because it has the genetic information, plays important role in heredity and variation. Site of DNA synthesis, RNA and ribosomes, plays very important role in protein synthesis. Chromosome number being constant, it is important in phylogenetic or evolutionary studies. Nucleus is called as master cell organelle. Now we have lastly cytoskeleton. Like we have bones in our body to support our body from within. Endoskeleton we have. So, same way cells have cytoskeleton which is made up of microtubules, microfilament and intermediate filaments. Microtubules are made up of tubulin protein, microfilaments are made up of actin, and intermediate are made up of fibrous protein. So they have a function to maintain the shape of cell, contraction of cell, mobility and cell mobility of cell and cell organelles. Shape of the cell can be changed and cell division is also facilitated there. Then cilia and flagella are certain structures which provide motility to the cell. They are hair-like membrane-bound protoplasmic outgrowths that are present on the free surface of the cell. Now cilia, like paramecium, if you have seen, they have cilia covered all over the body. The cilia produce a current in the aquatic medium and the paramecium can swim from one place to other. So they create a current in the fluid medium. The cilia are smaller in size and many in number. They act as oars causing movement of the cell. Flagella are longer and few in number. They are present in prokaryotes, bacteria, and structurally prokaryotic flagella are different from eukaryotic flagella. Basal body, basal plate and shaft are some parts here, so you can read about them. And there is a specific 9+2 arrangement of fibrils there, 9 doublet fibers running parallel to each other, and centrally there are 2 fibrils. Such is the structure of the flagella. Now centrioles and centrosomes. In a cell, these centrosomes have 2 centrioles arranged in a perpendicular manner, and these are helping in microtubule formation during cell division. Centrosomes, they are found near nucleus, contain pair of cylindrical structures called as centrioles. The cylinders are perpendicular to each other and they are surrounded by an amorphous substance called as pericentriolar material. Each cylinder is made up of 9 sets of triplet microtubules. Now the structure can be clearly seen here. The adjacent cylinders are attached to each other. Now the structure is clearly visible. Now such an apparatus is present and they help in assembly of spindle apparatus during cell division, and it forms basal body of cilia and flagella also. So these are the cytoskeletal or supporting parts of the cell. So this way we have covered all the components of prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Thank you.